Hey guys, what's going on? Kilo here, and today's video is about the Division, and still we are in this cycle of messed up content coming from Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft, and at this point, we're pretty much beating a dead horse, okay? What we're going to do first is we're going to start off with the unspiraling craziness of this story, okay? Number one, we've found out in Vanguard, at the end of Vanguard, that Keener comes back. And now this manhunt is about doing a whole entire testing phase to make sure that we're allies with him now. Like, he's a great protagonist. I understand that. He's probably one of the greatest villains that you could have created for the series, but bringing him back after we killed him is such a step backward than a step forward, okay? You've got plenty of enemies on the horizon. You did not need to cherry pick from one of the dead ones. What you needed to do is you needed to get creative and come up with a new, or use the Miss Sokolov thing. I don't need to be allying with Aaron Keener, okay? I dislike this narrative because we've literally spent the last 6 years dealing with him. We spent 4 years cleaning up his message from Jupiter all the way up until, like, the last manhunt before Vanguard. Anderson and Sokolova. I don't need any more of Aaron Keener. Aaron Keener's... We shot that man. He's done. He's dead. In game. YouTube. That's my first nitpick. My second nitpick is that the one woman in all of Division history that has hated him outside... Oh my god. That has... Oh, Jesus. It makes me so angry that I can't even read my stuff that's on my computer right now. The one woman that hates him is Kelso. If there is a person on your side that hates him above all else, it's Kelso. And now the last scene from Vanguard has those two aligned for some reason. Why? It just feels like, guys, with this manhunt, it's not... With the previous manhunts, it wasn't about narrative because everything had a fresh face to it. Okay? Jupiter. 4 rogue agents that we've never seen, never heard of. They had their own unique ways and own unique strategies to, eliminate them and complete the manhunt. And then you had Jupiter, who had her own little boss phase. The only complaint that people have had about these manhunts is that they keep on happening in locations that we've been to for the last 6 years. That was it. You guys gave us fresh new faces for all of them up until Vanguard. And then now you're recycling characters, which tells me 2 things. Narratively, you guys are running out of ideas. Whoever your creative director is for narratives of the story, it's just not working. Not at all. It's falling apart. If you guys have to recycle characters to advance the narrative, that means that somebody is stuck in a creative rut within Ubisoft Massive. And for some reason, this is getting past the creative director of the project and being produced into actual product for a video game, which is, in my opinion, utterly disrespectful to all of the people that still play your game and still stick around. Now, here's something that I understand on the flip side of that. On the flip side of that, I know that you guys are also being held by a dangerously short leash that is literally choking Ubisoft Massive right now, and it's being handled by Ubisoft. Ubisoft has never been afraid to tell people that they want to make money. Okay? They're one of the greediest companies out there. They're probably in second place next to EA and all of the gambling children scandals that have been going on. And those court cases are still not settled because EA keeps on weaseling their way out of them. The only ones that have been settled are the Canadian ones. The 2 American ones are actually still up for grabs. But that's not the point. The point is that is the caliber in which Ubisoft is, and that is the caliber of company that Ubisoft is. at their core. They're just trying to make money, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to tighten the collar around Ubisoft Massive after ripping them in half, doing a game that got literally no advertising, did not make them any money whatsoever. It was a pretty looking project, but it fell flat. My sister played the game, and she said that she beat the story of it in 6 hours, and it cost her $45, $44.99. When you promised in the trailers this expanded new universe. Get out of here, man. Ubisoft just needs to... what we need to do is we need to tell Ubisoft Massive that it's about time that they stand up for their player base. And they tell Ubisoft, you know, they give them the bird. They give them the righteous middle finger like Tom Cruise did to that Russian pilot in Top Gun. Flip that plane upside down, take a picture of how stunned that they are, and give them the bird while flying at Mach 4. That's what we need to do to Ubisoft. Because I know that all of these issues are coming from Ubisoft's timeline and crunches. Because Ubisoft doesn't know how to make a good product nowadays to save their life. They know how to make mediocre and below. And we're not even going to get into the Assassin's Creed Shadow thing, which is utterly terrifying in itself, that is probably going to be a Game of the Year thing just for reasons. DEI reasons. But anyway, I digress. The second issue is the new gear. So we got a new exotic rifle, we got new exotic gloves, and we got a new brand set, and we got a new gear set. The issue with all of them is that they revolve around rifles. Rifle handling, rifle damage. They're just like they're not standing out, you know? I can still take my striker build with a chameleon and a 4-piece gear set of striker and still shit all over a person with a rifle build. Because you guys nerfed them to the dirt a very long time ago. It's been like 2 years since that nerf happened, and we haven't had a good rifle build since. Actually, rifles have been straight up garbage, actually, for a while. And there are so many YouTubers out there for the Division 2 that have told you guys how to fix that problem, but you refuse to do it. And I don't know if that, yet again, is a Ubisoft time crunch problem with you guys, or it's lack of creativity and you guys are just burned out of Division, putting out Division content. That could also be the issue, because whoever is coming up with these gear brands and gear sets... oh my god. Why do I want to grind for this gear? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Ubisoft. Whoever the hell is making your gear and every stat bonus that goes with them does not know what they're doing. This is now 6. This is now 6. The last gear set, Aegis, was awful. You don't have the player base to make the Aegis gear set good right now. You barely have enough people playing your game to keep it afloat. Why in the world would you release a gear set that has to do with full teams? It makes 0 sense. This new gear set... it gives me a brain aneurysm just trying to read it. The gear brand is relatively simple. It gives you handling, rifle damage, and I believe an extra 15% in the mag. It doesn't make rifles strong. No matter what you do to rifles right now, they're not going to be a strong asset. They're not going to be. It doesn't, the base stats for rifles just don't, the gear set and the gear brand don't make up for the nerf that you put on them 2 years ago. Why? Oh, by the way, also, if you want to start doing stuff, guys, that comes outside of the box, you guys need to also come up with a new specialization. A new specialization would bring people flocking back to this game. Okay, if you would have revolved a specialization around a rifle with a whole new tree with stats to grind for to unlock, along with this manhunt, you would have had a lot more people come back to this game. But right now, you took an already pissed off community and you took a nice hot iron and you just started stabbing us in the butt with it. Because now we're furious. I'm not doing it. After my tax guy told me that I put $3,300 into your title and this is what I get for what I put out, no. Sorry. I'm lucky that I get a tax return from you. I'm lucky that I got a tax return from you. You guys did nothing, but yet again, divide the player base more. Not only did you divide the player base more, but you also made us hate Ubisoft Massive for being rushed into a bunch of creative decisions that I most likely am willing to bet my bottom dollar that is not their fault. I am willing to bet that all of this was to be created. The last two patches, the last two manhunts, Vanguard and this one, were probably created in a vacuum of a meeting that happened between 6 people from Ubisoft Massive, to include the creative director, and probably the head of Ubisoft Studios. And he probably told them, hey, guess what? Make us money. I don't care how you do it. Even if the product is crap, put it out. I'm willing to bet that that's what happened. Because the last 2 patches have been shitty gear, shitty brand sets, shitty exotics that you can't really make, you know, some really good builds with. And you're making the game that's supposed to be, in order to make a good grinder, you guys have to give us a goal to look for. Right now, you can play the entire game with one gear set, and that is Striker. You can do anything you want with Striker right now and still be successful. Now, what I'm not telling you is to nerf Striker. I'm giving you a solution. Start buffing other things to compete with it, or come up with something to compete with it. Do not touch Striker. Striker is a fine gear set the way that it is, because it molds very well with a lot of exotics out there. You need to make your other gear sets and your other brand sets mold with the exotics you have now. Not give us exotics like the St. Elmo's engine, which has a pretty pathetic talent, along with that Chris Vector SMG that you can get from Paradise Lost, which returns a status effect from somebody who shot you with a status effect. That is so situational that it doesn't even work. I know why you made it. You made it to counter the St. Elmo, but the only reason why people carry the St. Elmo to begin with is because it has good base stats. The only reason why people carry that exotic Chris Vector around, which I don't even know the name to because I don't really invest my time into your product anymore, is that it gives a status effect back. But the talent may be shitty, but the base stats on the gun are somewhat good. And then you come out with Aegis, which is a gear set that sucks monkey balls. The PS brand set was actually halfway decent if you wanted to try and make a halfway decent, you know, armor recovery build, but it still doesn't outclass Striker at all. Not even that much. You get so much more armor gains with Striker involved because you can kill quick. With Aegis, you can't kill quick, and that's its problem. The Mosquito is single-handedly probably the worst exotic you guys have ever created in the Division's history, and I'm talking about Division 1. Like, literally, Mosquito is like E-tier, like bottom. Like, I would rather pick up shit and eat it than grind for another Mosquito. I'm gonna pay attention a little bit. I'm gonna see what people come up with for these exotics that you put out. The only thing that is coming back as a positive notion for all the gear that's come out is the gloves. And Tuxedo Bandito did that in his review video, but he was not sounding confident at all. Like he was not even like yippee. No. He was sounding like, hey, my live stream for this is going to be a grind and a half because I'm going to have to fake emotion to get through what they put out. That's what Tuxedo Bandito sounded like in his video that he put out. Not saying that that's Tuxedo Bandito's fault. It is completely 100% Ubisoft's fault and Ubisoft Massive. To end the video, guys, here's what needs to happen. Ubisoft Massive needs to... Massive Entertainment needs to start telling Ubisoft HQ, shut the fuck up and, let us make a good product. On the flip side of that, Ubisoft needs to get its hands out of everybody's pockets and start nickel and diming a community that is already pissed off at it. Because we are. The Division is single-handedly probably the greatest moneymaker that Ubisoft has under its umbrella, and you're literally shitting all over it. You canceled Division Homeland, completely canceled it. Red Storm Entertainment's not doing anything with it. You're giving us the last 2 patches of the Division 2 have been garbage. The handheld that you released, Resurrection, I think, or Resurgence? Resurgence. That handheld died within 2 weeks and didn't make you any money like you thought that it would because, one, it's a game that has the graphics platform of Generation 1 on PS1 and it doesn't function very well on a cell phone. 2, people wanted the nostalgia of going back to New York, but they didn't want it in a really crap-looking setting such as those graphics on cell phones. Okay? Anyway, guys, if you guys do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for helping me in 2024. This is probably the best bump that I've ever had in my YouTube career, so I really, really thank you for that. The one thing I cannot pay you back is for your time, so thank you. Thank you for giving me your time, and I greatly appreciate it, guys. See you guys in the next video. I will be coming out with a whole bunch of new content here coming up. Space Marine 2 is coming out in November. That's the next big one that I'm looking forward to since Homeland was canceled. I don't know what I'm going to do about Division 3, but if you guys want me to cover Division 3 stuff, comment down below. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. If my opinion is wrong, tell me that I'm wrong. And I will debate you in it in the comments, so... tell me whatever you want, you guys. I'm not afraid of facing criticism either. I don't know what to say. I'm just not afraid of criticism. So I will definitely talk to you guys later, and I appreciate you guys and your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Kodiak, out.